Welcome everyone to the Proven Knowledge Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Church. I'm a music producer from Northeast Ohio. I began this weekly interview series to give you different perspectives from artists, producers, engineers, and other individuals in the music industry. In each episode, we touch on not only what has helped the person succeed, but we also touch on what has shaped them into the person that they are today. I hope you're able to gain some real proven knowledge from the show, and that it helps elevate you on your own journey to success as well. Let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 303 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. Today I welcomed a Bronx MC. His name is StoneyBrooks. Stoney was introduced to me through Dom. Shout out to Dom for always sending me amazing artists. This was a really fun, really kind of an inspiring conversation as well. Stoney talked about taking a hiatus from music. I'm not sure how long that hiatus was, but he kind of talked about, having a love for hip-hop, since an early age. Obviously growing up in the birthplace of hip-hop, that would make you fall in love with it no matter what. And he talked about his experience being surrounded by a lot of competitive nature, and just making his lane through that. But most importantly, like I said, coming off that hiatus in the last 3 years here and putting in the work once again, having to adapt to the landscape of social media and just where the state of the industry is now. But he talked about, maintaining his independence, working with people like Dom and what that has meant to him to be able to adapt to the shifts and what he's looking to do moving forward with a lot of new music coming soon. He talked about wanting to do more collaborations, and really just recapped a lot of the music he's put out over the last year as well. So it was very inspiring to hear how he has been able to get back into things with such hunger and such drive and wanting to stay consistent and wanting to keep putting out music that will affect people in a positive way. So shout out to him for doing that, and thanks again to him and Dom for making this episode happen this week. And without further ado, let's get into this one. This right here is episode 303, joined today by StoneyBrooks. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I got to say, as always, shout out to Dom for getting us connected just a few days back. But thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the time out of your weekend to join me today. And we usually have the guests kind of just start off by giving a little bit of a brief synopsis of who you are and how you got into music and all that good stuff.
Okay, well, artist StoneyBrooks from the Bronx, birthplace of hip-hop. Pretty much been in music my whole entire life. Come from it, the elements of the city. Being from the Bronx, you saw it. The graffiti writing, the DJ, and the breakdancing, and then the MCing. So for me, always kind of been a part of this music thing, whether it was before I started MCing, whether it was just DJing or, break dancing. I saw it, I was around it. So yeah, me pretty much, I could say I got about a good 10 years plus on MCing or rapping and rhyming and things of that nature. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've always wondered, because I don't know if I've talked to anybody from the Bronx specifically, especially a hip-hop artist, and I've always wondered for, people that are coming up in that environment, because I imagine it's very competitive, right? Because there's so many people that are surrounded by hip-hop culture and are involved in it as well. So what's that been like for you over these last 10 plus years? Has it been like super competitive, trying to find your footing and find your own voice? Or, how has that journey been for you as an individual?
Yeah, it's super competitive because you in the city, you got 5 boroughs, so congested. Everybody's an artist.
Yeah.
You could wake up in the morning and you want to be an artist, you would go on your phone and do what you do. So it's very congested. But at the same time, you still got to know your niche. You got to find your lane and pretty much attack it because there's so many lanes and there's so much music out there. Good music, mediocre music, bad music. But it's out there and it's a very, very competitive. Because you still got the veterans that's out there in the city, in New York City, and they still making good music. So for the up and coming artists, especially when you're independent, you don't have machine behind you, yeah, it's kind of, it get frustrated and they get hard at some time. But if this is what you want to do and you know this is your passion and this is your thing, then you're going to keep moving no matter the obstacles or walls that's put up before you. So for me, yeah, I'm pretty much, because I took a hiatus off from making music. So as I'm coming back, I came back since, let's say 2023, I've been back making music officially full time. So, and the way it's set up now with the algorithms and streams, and so you got to find your footing. It's definitely kind of hard finding your footing, but for true hip hop heads and true culture heads that love the culture, they gonna see you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you stay putting in that work too, which definitely helps a lot, which I think is super vital. Speaking on that, a little bit of a hiatus too, what do you think you learned during the time away that you ended up applying when you came back to doing music? What do you think you learned the most? And what do you think was the biggest struggle, maybe if there was a struggle or a challenge getting back into it, that you experienced?
Well, for me, it would be the whole, the way the game changed from being having real skills and going to these labels, and the labels is telling you, listen, this is what's going on, we giving you a budget for this, to the way it is now. To where they want to be independent and everything is going independent. So now you're relying on streams and you're relying on this whole algorithm. And to me, the biggest challenge coming back was the whole social media game.
Yeah.
Because you need followers in order for your music to go now. That's what it seemed like. If you don't have the followers, not that the people listening to your music, you need the followers to boost your music up. So that's the most challenging thing for me to this day. I'm still learning it right now to this day. So, I'm just adjusting to it. The music I put out, it do good, I would like to see it do much better, but for the most part, I know that it comes from the whole social media thing and all that, because I'm not big on social media. I'm not a big person on social media as far as content making and things of that nature. So that's something I got to get into. But for me, that's the most challenging right now to this day, because you can make good music, but if the people don't see it and hear it, because, they don't, you don't have a major following behind you, then you kind of lost in the shuffle, lost in the storm. So,
yeah. And I think that goes into being able to build somewhat of a team around yourself and have people that around yourself to kind of help guide you in those areas, which I feel like, Dom is someone obviously that does that a lot. So I guess we'll start there too. Your relationship with people like Dom, how has that benefited you for what you're trying to do and the goals that you have as a musician? And how important has it been to have somebody like that, you're working alongside you to kind of help push what you're doing and be on shows like this and, do social media and all that sort of thing?
Okay, so, excuse me, locking in with Dom. Shout out to Dom. That's number one. Shout out to Dom. Locking in with Dom so far has been great. So I released a song called Cold December since I got locked in with Dom. By me connecting with him, I was able to push 1,000+ streams in under 7 days off the single. That's just, I know, from me locking in with Dom. And me, I'm you're skeptical of a lot of people that you want to work with, a lot of people that because the way the whole things is perceived on the media, so it's a trust factor. So once I just said, you know what, I'm locking in with Dom. I followed him, and I've been watching his work and seeing what he's doing, and I'm locking in with him. Reached out to him. We got on a call, FaceTime, chopped it up some more. Then he was like, listen, I got a perfect spot for you. I want you to go, and do this over here. And that's how me and you locked in. I'm like, oh, all right, that's what's up. That's cool, Check your show out. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's up. Let's do it. Let's do it. So here we is doing this right here. So shout out to Dom for making this happen, because it's all me. it's all about the connections you make, and when you make them, they gotta be the right ones.
Yeah.
Because of the way the industry is right now. So whatever connect you make, you just gotta make sure it's the right one. And right now, me linking up with Dom, so that was a perfect connect. So shout out to my boy Dom. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Shout out to Dom. And like I told you before we started recording, I've been working with him now for a little over a year. And his level of consistency definitely matches exactly what I do with this platform. So it works out in tandem. And it sounds like for you, that's the same way with what you're trying to do musically. It matches that level of consistency where you're like, I can work with this person and we can get some things done. So, yeah.
Yes. So that was a big plus. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And we'll get into talking about some of the music here because you just said you dropped a new track at the end of February. Talk about that first, and then let's talk about the project One More Shot that you dropped in 2025 as well, and kind of what went into creating those.
Well, just released Cold December featuring Miss Sue Holland, spoken word on there, so that was dope. Dropped that the 25th of February. So far, it's been doing this, making his little streams, doing what it was supposed to do. And that was a fun song to make right there. It just has it's just meaningful, and it's needed. It's needed right now. So because every day you could come outside and you're going through something and it feels like a cold December day.
Yeah. So
that's how I took that song and ran with that one. Like any day you step out, the challenges you're facing every day. It could be feel cold, like a cold December, but it's on you to get through the obstacles and make it to a better situation. So that's what I took when I wrote that song right there.
Yeah, most definitely.
Putting Miss Sue Holland on it just fitted. It just fit. I knew she knew how to speak. She knew how to talk. That spoken word talk to reach the masses, the people that I'm trying to reach. So it was just a perfect fit. So. Yeah.
Wanted to take a quick minute out of today's episode to let you guys know of a way that you can support the show, a way that you can donate some funds to us, starting at as little as $5 or more via our Ko-fi page. Now, we've been using Ko-fi now for a few years, and it's been a very effective way to generate some funds that we end up using for, future guests, sponsors, just an overall way to keep this show as quality as it has been for the last several years, and we always appreciate any and all contributions. So if you go to ko-fi.com/The Proven Knowledge Podcast, that's ko-fi.com/The Proven Knowledge Podcast, you can donate, like I said, $5 or more. It gives you that option to do 10, 20, 30, or just type in whatever amount. Any contributions are appreciated, and I do this show from the bottom of my heart for the love of it at the end of the day, but those funds are always welcome because they do allow us to do more and be more flexible with how we continue to grow this platform in the future. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. The link will be in the description of the show notes of this episode you're listening to now, so definitely check it out. But without further ado, let's get back into the episode. Putting it out during the winter time, I think, was just perfect. You know what I mean? So, makes total sense.
Yeah. Wintertime, that's a fact. Cold December, no matter what. As long as it's wintertime, it's cold. Yeah. Like December. Yeah.
So is that why you kind of separated that track from the rest of One More Shot? Or was that always intended for that to be like its own separate, standalone track?
Yeah, because, all right, so with One More Shot, I had a lot of songs that we could have put on One More Shot. And, but I always wanted Cold December to like stand out by itself. But it was so much like fire that we had for the song. I didn't want it to get overshadowed. So I'm like, we're gonna put this out, and then before we start the movement for the next project, we're going to drop Cold December, so it's going to stand by itself. They're going to understand that song is going to stand by itself, and then we can proceed with dropping, something else before we get into the actual second project.
Yeah.
So.
Nice, man. And is that kind of where you're at now, where you're starting to build what is going to eventually become that second project? Are you recording anything new right now?
Yes. Yeah. About 4 or 5 songs into the second project.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm going to make it an EP or LP, but yeah.
Nice.
About 4 or 5 songs into the next one. You got to be consistent. That's one thing I've been learning since I came back. You got to be consistent. Mm-hmm. So you got to keep banging them in the head with more music. Like before the next project drop, I got some singles I'm going to drop in between just to stay relevant in the people's faces, because, you can't rely on the DJ trying to break you. So I feel once you stay consistent and they keep hearing you, then eventually they'll catch on.
Yeah, most definitely, for sure. And I'm definitely curious to know, without revealing a ton about whatever the next project might hold, what do you think is going to be the goal for you personally as an artist, as far as like evolving the story you're trying to tell? And I guess with this next chapter, what kind of a story are you trying to tell with the next batch of new music?
Well, the next, I'm kind of as a toss-up between titles. That's number one, excuse me. So it's kind of like a toss-up, but I'm leaning more towards this title that I got, where is a bunch of, I want to just work with a lot of like up-and-coming independent artists, such as myself. Mm-hmm. So, it don't matter being that we on this podcast. So I'm leaning towards a name called Collaborations, where I want to just collaborate with the new and up-and-coming artists. Yeah. No majors on there, just because I feel there's a lot of dope MCs out there that don't get the recognition that they're supposed to get, or they get overlooked because it's other big names out there that's moving and all that. So I want to work with them guys, and so if not, then I switch it. If I lean towards the other title, then I got some songs just for that. But yeah, we working on the next project. That's that's the goal right now. I'm trying to just make sure that I stay relevant, because I know, I'm just coming back. So unless I get that one hit that people gravitate towards, then I know it's a grind process for me. So for me, I'm just going to keep making music, keep making the music.
Yeah. Putting
it out there. I ain't leaving it on my laptop and on a disc, as USB drive. I'm not doing that. I'm putting it out. And somebody going to eventually catch on to what's going on here.
Yeah, man. And that's how it serves a purpose, too, when you actually release the music. Because, a lot of people do that. They kind of just let things sit around and collect dust. And it's like, that's not doing you any good, because there's no traction, the wheels aren't turning, nothing's really happening. So it's great to be able to, exactly. Great to be able to get those out there. And I definitely think that's a lot to be excited about. And if you can make that happen, get those collaborations going, I think that's going to be a great project for sure.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. It's exciting, man. And early congrats on all that, because I think that's some great goals too. So that's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Trying to just do it every time we come out. We just trying to just push the culture forward, and let them understand that real authentic hip-hop still matters to some people.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you can evolve, with the culture. So that's what we're doing here. We're just trying to evolve with the culture, no matter what time frame or wherever we came from. If we relevant now and the people like what we putting out now, then just keep putting it out. To me, it's all about moving the culture forward. This is a genre that got slept on for many years when it first came out. So now to be where we at right now, can't let it die down, even if, they putting out the gimmick music or the drill music, or they got the industry plants, whatever you want to call it. If it's real still hip-hop heads out there, and then, put the music out, you keep the culture going, you keep it rolling.
Yeah. And the real music will always find its way to the light too, which is very important. So yeah, man.
Yes,
that's awesome.
That's for sure.
That's awesome, man. And I usually like to also ask every now and then to artists, outside of obviously the daily grind. Obviously, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes that you're doing. What are you doing outside of music, outside of everything, to kind of, relax here and there? Could be on the day-to-day, could be hobbies, could be anything like that. I know before we started recording, you said you're in upstate New York now, which is a lot more peaceful. So tell me about that, and tell me about what life looks like outside of just recording.
Rest. I'm up there. I'm able to, get a workout in the morning, get my jog on. Mm-hmm. And up here, I'm able to just, go in my backyard and just cook. I like to cook. So, a lot of smokers and a lot of, grills and things going on up here. So it's just peaceful. So that's what I'm able to do out here. I can go sit on my back porch, my back deck, and just relax. And, go on the front porch and relax. And it's just, so peaceful, in the section where I'm at. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Day-to-day grind is, work. I still work a 9 to 5 because this rap thing ain't, but my 9 to 5 is probably a different 9 to 5. I work in the weed dispensary. That's the best job you can have right now. So, that's my grind, 9 to 5. Yeah. Push that every day and come home, get creative, and shoot to my boy spot, and then we just record and we go. Anytime I get a chance to get in the studio, that's what I do. I get up in the morning, cut the laptop on, and I'm going in, writing something. I try to write something down every day. Whether it's a verse, a half a verse, 5 bars, 4 bars, 3 bars. Every day I try to put the pen to the paper and write something just to keep the juices flowing and stay creative and stay inspired.
Yeah. It's impressive, man, because I always kind of look at it as, even if you have a lot going on in your day-to-day life, if you make that little bit of time every day to do something creative and do something to kind of continue to get better, that goes a long way. You know what I mean? So
yes.
I think the people that do that see the most success, for sure. So it's definitely
every
awesome,
single
man.
day we put the pen to the paper.
Yeah, man.
I'm in grind mode every day, even if after 9 to 5, before the 9 to 5. I'm an early riser, so I get up, regular routine, cup of coffee, going to get the headphones, I'm going to get the laptop, and then I'm listening to something, whether I'm writing a freestyle or an instrumental, or if I'm working on an original song myself, or I'm just going through some tracks that a producer sent me, and I'm just listening. So, yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Every day.
Yeah. Total side question. What are your favorite things to grill? If you're grilling, what are you putting on the grill?
Putting a brisket on the grill.
Oh, brisket? Yeah, man.
Putting a brisket on the grill. Putting it on the smoker, actually.
Yes.
Putting the brisket on the smoker.
That's the best.
Right.
Yep.
And if I'm grilling, we grill everything. I'm more like grilled food than fried.
Yeah.
So I will grill all summer if you ask me. So we putting everything on the grill. But right now, I'm loving the smoky side of things. I'm loving the putting things in the smoke. I'm putting everything in the smoke. Yeah. Chicken, ribs, brisket, everything is going in the smoker these days. So I can't wait for the summer.
I was gonna say, I was just about to say it. I'm like, the warm weather's coming soon, so you might be out there a lot more, man.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yep.
I'm out there. Can't wait.
Same here, man. That's awesome. And we're down to the last few questions here. These are ones I ask on every episode.
Okay.
More life-related ones as well. The first one is, if you could go back 10 years ago, give yourself any piece of advice, or maybe not change anything at all, what do you think you would do?
I would go back and say, keep grinding. Don't stop. Don't let nobody try to deflect you from your goals. So you keep going. You keep going. And there's certain aspects that I would never change, because it made me who I am today. And it put me in a position that I'm in today. If it wasn't for the things that I went through, I wouldn't have met my wifey that I'm with right now. So things would be different. But at the same time, when I took the hiatus off, I stopped putting the pen to the paper. So I should have never stopped doing that. Because now it's like I'm playing catch up with all my music and all that, which is cool though, because I like the new fresh ideas anyway. But never stop grinding.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing no matter what. Don't let nobody tell you different.
Yeah. And then we usually flip that question and we say 10 years from now, where do you think you envision yourself musically and in life overall?
Musically, I feel 10 from now, I feel like even if I said, you know what, all right, it's my time to bow out, I would feel good because I put out the music that I always wanted to put out, even as a youngster. I put it out. Some of my people's not here no more. So just to put out this music and have, you know, a decent amount of people hear the music and hear their names in this music, I feel I did my job to my friends and my peoples who's not here no more, because I put the music out.
Yeah.
And that's after taking the hiatus. I still came and I put the music out, and people love the music because they listening to the music. So, yeah. And life, you know, bigger house, bigger backyard, more friends, just more peace, you know, with the family and friends, and just enjoying life, because life would get cut short in a second. So whether you get, you know, from the streets or from being incarcerated. So, you know, just more house and more life and more land and more peacefulness, and just, you know, being able to just share, enjoying life. Yeah. That's 10 years from now, for real. Yeah, man. I'm tired.
For sure. And I think everybody can relate to that and wanting that in their life as well. So I definitely agree with that. And do you have any final words of wisdom for the listeners before we get out of here?
Yeah. Words of wisdom is this, man. No matter what age you are, whatever it is you put your mind to and you got it in your heart to do it, go do it, because you can achieve it. No matter what nobody's saying. Never, ever give up on your dreams at no age, no matter what. Go get it, because it's a land of opportunity. You can get it out here. So go get it. Go get it. Never stop grinding. Keep going.
Yeah, man. And like you said, you know, you only get this life thing once that we know of, so you got to make the most of it now and go for it. So, well, Stoney, man, thank you again for stopping by today, and congrats again on all the new music, everything you're working on, everything you're doing, man. I think the hunger is very good to see from you, and I'm excited to see where that leads from here, man. So thanks again for taking the time.
Yes, anytime, man. Appreciate you having me. You know, whenever you need me, just tap my line and I'm here, man. I appreciate you. It's all love here, you heard?
Just want to say thank you for tuning in today. Be sure to hit that coffee link in the description of this episode if you'd like to donate any funds. And we'll see you back here with another new episode next week. As always, thank you for your support.